Right, now we're going to make the pastries. You see the pastry that we made before? It's been sitting there aside, resting. Now we're going to take that. I'll break it into two, because just for ease of handling. And I'm just going to roll that out into a log. Actually, I might give it a little bit of a mix first. I know you don't usually give pastry a mix, but I am. Right, now we've got it all mixed together. Roll it into a bit of a log shape like that. And then just take a knife and cut it into pieces like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 10 I got out of that log. Once you've got it into the log shapes, you just take one and put it flat, ready to roll. Right, taking this mixture here, this is our lentil mixture now. Take some out and put it in a bowl for you to work with. If you want to thicken that pastry, that mixture, as I said before, this is the time to do it with a bit of corn flour. I'm going to take a half out for us to make some pasties, and I'll thicken the other half. Just for those who want to thicken the mixture that we've just cooked, the lentil mixture, just take a water like this, probably it's nearly a cup of water, and flour, a big tablespoon, a heaped tablespoon. Mix it together. I mean, this is fairly fundamental, but if you're a new cook, I'll just show it to you just in case. And then just mix it to the mixture. And that will be enough to thicken it. But once you've added that to it, you really should put the heat on, because that makes the chemical reaction of the starches. You can see how thick that is now already. So just put the lid on that while we're making the pasties until. Okay, I'm going to. The pizza's been sitting for about 5-10 minutes. I'll put them in, and then I'll check on the pizza on the plate while we're doing the plate like that. You can go around, turn it around. So now we have our mixture. Do you remember the important thing I said to you? To make sure it tastes nice. This is the mixture that I haven't thickened. So I'm going to have a little taste of it first just to see if it's nice. You can even put your finger in. At this stage, it has to be really strong flavoured. So I'm going to just add a little bit more chicken-like flavouring, which is completely vegan, because this has got to be tasty. The filling on this savoury has to be really tasty. And then mix that around. Okay, so you can see the rest of that chicken flavouring I just put in here. See how thick that is now? It's come to the boil. Turn it off again. That's enough to heat it so it's really thick. And because I've thickened this one, I'm thinking I might add the rest of this casserole mince. So if you want to, you don't have to use these tin meat alternatives, but because I've already opened it for the pizza and my children like it, I'll just put that on this side. So half of them today will be done with, because it's already got the flour in it, I'll put the gluten, this is basically a gluten steak, a gluten casserole mix. I'll put that in there, and that will go in the rest of the pasties. So now we just take the cross sections, roll them out, take some pastry, put it on one side, maybe I need a bigger spoon, fold it over, press it down and put it on a tray. So again, my square trays. So you can have it looking very natural-like, very holistic. And then usually you can take a fork or a knife and just punch it. You can do all artistic little turns, but if that's basically it. Do another one. You see the paper. So this one I'm doing a little bit more carefully, less organic looking. Take that, add it to the next one. You should be able to fit 3 of these on a tray. And generally, the hotter the mixture, the lighter the mixture. So I always try and resist the temptation to add flour to it, even if it feels like it's a little bit soft, because you want a nice light pastry. Nothing worse than a heavy, soggy, stodgy pastry. So now I'm going to check on the plat. It's probably ready. You don't want to overcook bread. And there it is. So that is what we call our vegan, vegetarian, wholesome. And you can use it. You see, each individual one can be broken off. When you have friends around, you just break each one off. And it can be used as an appetizer or hors d'oeuvre. Okay, so now we're doing the ones with the casserole mince in them. The oven is full, and now I'm going to check the pizza, and then we'll come back and put the pasties back in. Using the... Okay, the pizzas are ready. Pasties are in the oven. Do you see in the oven the pasties are there? We can turn it up higher for the pasties. Turn it up a little bit higher. This will go over here. So the plat should just slip straight off onto a serving tray. And you've got your pizza and your plat. And I've got a customer waiting already. So here's the loaf of bread. You never can predict whether it's going to be high or low. You can see this one's I cooked last night and this one this morning. And what I'll do with these breads now is slice them and put them in the freezer, so in the morning for breakfast I can have a clear conscience that my kids have had a good quality start with wholesome toast. So we'll tip this one out. And you can see when I cut these ones, well, this one's going to be, I usually leave it before I cut it, but this one here, you cut it, and you can see it should be nice and bouncy. And this is a heavy loaf of bread, and then this one here is another one, just depending. This one I made this morning. And this one hasn't got the, I did it 2 different ones. So you see this one's got the linseed and this one's not got the linseed. And this one you can see it's got the linseed. And then usually to make it easy to cut and practical to use, I always just slice the bread straight up like that. Into pieces. 2 pieces wrapped up in Glad wrap or plastic film. And then put that in the freezer. Because you want a nice thin piece of bread. And you want it of a good texture that it won't crumble in your hands. It's got to be able to hold the jams or the lentil savouries. Like you can eat this in the morning, toasted, with this on, and you've got a really good start to the day. And that's it done. So you can see, I nearly should have taken them out a little bit earlier, but there they are. And I'll break one in a minute so you can see how light they are. And so, to your abundant health with this grape of grape juice, the pasties, I did promise you I'd break one in half, and you see how thin and light they are. And they're not runny at all. So this is the pasty. You see how light and thin the pastry is here? And the mixture was thick, and with the glass of grape juice, abundant life.